Welcome back to Narrative Mode. I'm Henry with an I.
And I'm Henry with a Y. Yes, it's finally here. Our schedules have aligned. We're both here at the same time.
The stars aligned and we are both here in the studio. It's our very first official duo episode.
And what a topic! We're staying in the monster category, but a very, very different kind.
That's right. We're just a few days past the Netflix release of what might be the most anticipated, most personal film of the year.
A film that's been a passion project for decades for this director. And you can feel that in every single frame.
Exactly. Today, we are opening up the book, or perhaps digging up the coffin, on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which hit Netflix on November 7th.
Just wow. It's an easy watch, is it? It's a lot. It's beautiful, it's grotesque, it's heartbreaking, it's quintessential. Del Toro.
It really is. Now, for anyone who hasn't had the 2.5 hours to sit down with it, let's do a quick, spoiler-light recap of the setup. And we have to stress, this is not just another remake. This is not your grandfather's Boris Karloff.
And oh, not by a long shot. First, the cast is just staggering. You have Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein,
Who plays him not just as a mad scientist, but as this egotistical, brilliant, and deeply oppressive man. He's driven by this frantic, arrogant obsession to conquer death.
an obsession the film makes clear that's fueled by his own terrible father, played by the terrifying Charles Dance. Seriously, this is a story about bad fathers, top to bottom.
Then you have Jacob Elordi as the creature, and what a performance. This is the part that I think will shock most people. This is not the mute, grunting monster with balls in his neck. Del Toro throws all that out. This is from the book. He's intelligent, he's articulate, he's deeply emotional.
And he's immediately abandoned. That's the core of it. The inciting incident for everything. Victor, in his moment of supposed triumph, is so horrified by what he's done that he just runs away. He bails.
So the film really splits into two, following these two broken characters. You have Victor's story descending into his own guilt, paranoia, and horror.
And you have the creature's story. A lonely, intelligent being wandering the world, trying to understand the world and find a place for himself. We see him learn, we see him find the brief, beautiful moment of kindness with the blind man, played by David Bradley.
And we see the world reject him over and over with violence and fear. This is the central theme. The rejection is what creates the monster. The violence is not what he is, it's what he learns from us. And we have to mention Mia Goth, who in a brilliant Del Toro move plays a dual role. Victor's brother's fiancée, Elizabeth, and the idealized, almost ghostly memory of Victor's late mother, Claire.
Which just layers in so much Freudian obsession into Victor's whole motivation. It's messy in a brilliant way.
It's a haunting gothic and deeply emotional epic, and as we do here on Narrative Mode, we're going to deconstruct it. The story is packed with lessons on ambition, responsibility, and the devastating cost of loneliness.
So let's get into it. Our first lesson, what is the real price of unchecked ambition?
Okay, let's start with the first and most obvious lesson, because it's the engine of the entire story. The devastating price of unchecked ambition and ego.
This is Victor. This is his entire character, played with this incredible, arrogant, almost frantic energy by Oscar Isaac. He's a man who, as Del Toro shows, is a product of his own oppressive and abusive father, Leopold Frankenstein, played by the absolutely chilling Charles Dance.
And that's the tragedy, isn't it? He's a product of this, and what does he do? He learns the worst possible lesson. Instead of breaking that cycle, he perfects it. He becomes just as arrogant, just as cold, just as controlling as the man he hates. His ambition isn't just about the pure pursuit of science or conquering death. It's about a suffocating, all-consuming ego. It's about proving his father, his teachers, and God himself wrong.
And that ego, the ambition, it just damages everyone around him. Let's start with the most tragic relationship Victor and his creation.
It's the core of the film. Victor succeeds. He plays God. He brings life from death. And in that very moment, his ego encounters a reality it cannot handle. The creature is not the grateful, intelligent companion that he envisioned.
It's a baby. It's literally new to the world. It's a blank slate, as Del Toro put it. But Victor, in his godlike arrogance, assumes that his creation intelligence should immediately be on his level. He has no patience for it. He doesn't see a child that needs to be taught. He sees a failure that needs to be discarded.
We see this in the scenes after the creation. Victor tries to teach the creature, but with the same impatient and unaffectionate energy that his own father used on him. It's a perfect, terrible mirror. He's a terrible father because he had a terrible father. He sees the creature's confusion not as innocence but as stupidity. His ego is so massive, he can't see the most basic truths. He's brought a child to life, and his first and only act is abandonment.
And that same ego, that same unchecked ambition, it poisons his human relationship too, specifically with Elizabeth.
Mia Goth is so good in this. She's the moral center of the film, really, and she's horrified by him. There's a distance that grows between them long before the creature is ever a physical threat. You see her pulling away from this man who claims to love her.
Exactly, she views his willingness to defile nature to be so uncaring about death and so obsessed with his own theories as abhorrent. It's cold. The film quotes her as summarizing this perfectly, a man who tries to control and manipulate everything and everyone around him.
His ambition doesn't just create a monster in his lab, it makes him a monster to the people who are trying to love him. That's the first and most powerful lesson. Your ambition, if it's not checked by empathy, will cost you everything and everyone. Speaking of Victor's own abuse, let's talk about that. Let's talk about breaking the cycle of abuse.
This is such a core, powerful. There is this version. There's this toxic, pervasive misconception, right? That people, especially men, in these kinds of stories, only learn or improve if there's a painful driving motivation.
Right. That pain or even abuse is a good motivator, that it builds character. We see it in sports, in business, in art. No pain, no gain, twisted into something really dark.
And what happens when you do that to a child? It shapes their entire belief system. It teaches them that this is the only way to improve, the only way to be better. And then what do they do when they have their own children?
They inflict a similar pain. They repeat the cycle. This is Victor's entire story. His father is strict and oppressive. He uses pain and fear as a teaching tool. So when Victor finally creates his own son, the creature, he only has one model for fatherhood.
He's an impatient and affectionate parent. When the creature can perform, when he can immediately meet Victor's God-like expectation, Victor resorts to what he knows: anger, intimidation, and ultimately rejection. He is perpetuating the exact cycle of abuse he himself survived.
But this is what's so beautiful about this script. This film shows us in no uncertain terms that kindness and positive reception are an even stronger motivation. It directly contrasts Victor's method with two other characters.
And what's so great is the film shows us the alternative. It's not just Victor's failure. Look at Elizabeth. That's a perfect subtle example, right? There's a scene where she's with the creature and she's able to teach him a new word. How?
By gently guiding him, by being patient, by not resorting to abuse when he's unable to perform. She shows him simple, positive reinforcement, and he learns. It's that simple.
And then there's the big one. The one that's the heart of the entire novel. And Del Toro just nails it. The character everyone waits for.
The old blind man.
played by David Bradley, just perfect.
The creature at this point has only known fear, violence, and rejection from everyone who has seen him. He's a monster because that's the only way the world has ever treated him.
And he stumbles into this hovel, and this man, he can't see the monster. He's the first person he isn't blinded by his own fear. And what does he do?
He offers him food, shelter, conversation. He was able to teach the creature how to read through kindness and understanding.
And look at the result. The creature in this tiny pocket of warm blossoms. He learns language, he learns about society, he learns about love and family. He learns more about being human from a few days of kindness than he ever learned from Victor's abusive genius.
Which proves that the genius was never the important part. It was kindness. The lesson is just so clear and powerful. The cycle of abuse is a choice, and pain is not the best teacher. It's just the loudest.
Kindness is what actually builds kindness. It's what leads to real improvement and real betterment. It's the only thing that can actually break the cycle.
That lesson about kindness, it scales up, doesn't it? It's not just about kindness versus abuse. It's really the central allegory of the entire story.
You mean who is the real monster?
That's part of it, but I think Del Toro goes deeper. This film is a portrait of shunned people. This is Del Toro's wheelhouse. It's an allegory for the weird, the strange, the others of society. And the creature is the ultimate other.
And what the film shows that this perceived abomination isn't born evil. He's just new. He is a blank slate in a terrifying package.
Exactly. And it's patience that is the key virtue. It's the one thing that allows the creature to thrive and become learned. We talked about the blind man. That's the ultimate example. He has the patience to teach the creature to read.
Which is an incredible act of faith. And it proves a fundamental point. People understand, comprehend, and absorb things differently.
That's the core of it. How one person might learn does not necessarily mean that's how another person behaves or learns. Victor, the genius, expects his creation to just be a genius. He has no patience for the process.
But because the creature's method of learning, slow, curious, sensitive, non-verbal at first, exists so far outside the norm, what does society do?
It treats him as odd, weird, excluded, and at its worst, as an abomination, a monster. It's the tragedy of prejudice.
This brings us to the incredibly powerful confrontation, that scene that just stops you in your tracks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The creature finally confronts Victor, this man who sees him as a failure, as something grotesque. And he utters this line that is just the whole theme of the movie. He says, "To you, I am obscene, but to me, I simply am."
God, that's good. It just floors you. The one line just reframes everything.
It really does. It's a perfect, powerful confrontation. It shatters the whole idea of normal. What's weird or obscene for one person is almost always just a preconceived notion, a prejudice.
The creature didn't choose to be excluded. He didn't ask to be an other. He simply is.
That's the takeaway. People who are different do not choose to be excluded by society willingly. More often than not, we are the ones who judge too quickly. We see something that doesn't fit our pattern. We slap a label on it. Weird, strange, obscene. And the label sticks.
So the lesson is, we have to let go of those preconceived notions. We have to actively fight that.
We have to. We have to actively fight that knee-jerk reaction. To judge what we don't immediately understand.
Understand people first. Then you can form an opinion.
Exactly. Understand, don't just react. And that's the real heart of it, isn't it? That final word, understanding.
But you don't just get to understanding. It's not a passive thing. You have to build it.
Which brings us to a lesson that's so fundamental, it's almost the antidote to the last one. Communication is the key. It's the pathway that gets us to that understanding.
This movie is a tragedy of failed communication. Think about it. Almost every single horrific event in this film, all the death, all the sorrow could have been avoided.
How?
If Victor had just talked to him, the core conflict, the entire disaster, happens because Victor refuses to communicate.
100%. He sees the creature, and in that single instant, his judgment is final. He doesn't talk to him, he doesn't listen to him, he doesn't try to understand. He just reacts and abandons him.
And the flip side is the creature spends the entire movie trying to learn how to communicate. He learns to read, he learns to speak. He is desperately trying to find a way to absorb perspective and to have his own perspective absorbed.
It's heartbreaking. He's begging for the very thing Victor denied him.
This is such a powerful, real-world lesson. We would be so much less inclined to judge people if we could just talk to them first. We could just stop and listen and absorb their perspective.
That's the magic of the section with the blind man, isn't it? It's the one place in the movie where true, unbiased communication actually happens.
Because he can't judge by sight. He has no preconceived notion of abomination. All he has is the conversation. He just talks and listens. And in that moment, the creature isn't a monster. He's just a person.
But the second his family returns, the second they see him, what happens?
It's over. Communication is over. Judgment is instant. It's a powerful warning for all of us. We are so fast to judge what we see and so slow to listen to what's being said.
This is where it all leads, the whole chain of ideas. From breaking the cycle of abuse, to showing kindness, to communicating, to understanding, it all builds to the final and maybe hardest lesson of all.
Forgiveness.
When we truly understand each other, when we finally, patiently learn what shaped each other's perspectives, that's when we can learn to forgive.
And we have to be really clear about what forgiveness is. It's not about letting someone off the hook. It does not mean forgetting what was done to you. It's not pretending the hurt didn't happen.
No, absolutely not. That would be a disservice to the pain. Forgiveness is understanding that the pain and the hurt did happen, and then choosing to let go of the rage anyway, because it's just not healthy to keep dragging that weight around. It poisons you.
This film is a perfect study of that. We understand that people struggle, and sometimes those struggles, those flaws, those old wounds, they push us into making terrible mistakes.
We do the best with what we can and what we have. And sometimes, like with Victor, that leads to unintended, catastrophic pain and hurt. His ego, his ambition, his own trauma, it all conspired to make him a monster.
But at the end of the day, we can't hold on that pain forever. It destroys us. It destroyed Victor, and it almost completely destroyed the creature.
And then we get to that final scene, the climax of the film. On the ice, at the edge of the world, after all the death and all the fire and all the rage, what finally happens?
Victor finally listens for the first time. Hears the creature's story. He understands his pain. He sees the son he abandoned.
And he apologizes. He finally understands his own misdeeds. And he asks for forgiveness. He calls him son.
And the creature who has every right in the world to be a monster, who has earned his rage, he does the impossible. He understands his creator. He sees the broken, sad man who made him. And in that moment, he let go. He calls Victor his father and allows him to be at peace. It's the moment of tragic, mutual forgiveness. It's devastating, but it's beautiful.
That's the ultimate lesson. We can't hold on to that pain. If the opportunity to talk, to communicate, to finally understand each other presents itself,
We must take it. We must choose to forgive.
it's the only way to end the cycle. And that's a wrap on our lessons. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot to pull from one film. Let's do a quick recap of what we found.
We started with unchecked ambition and ego, how Victor's arrogance did not just create the creature, it poisoned all his human relationships too.
Which led us right into the breaking cycle of abuse. How the film proves that kindness and patience, like from the blind man, are infinitely stronger teachers than the pain Victor learned from his own father.
And that scaled up into that beautiful, heartbreaking lesson on treating each other with kindness. That incredible line, to you I am obscene, but to me I simply am.
The line that's only possible or impossible because of communication. The film is a tragedy of what happens when we refuse to talk and listen.
And finally, how all of that understanding, communication, empathy, all of it builds the path to the final hardest step, forgiveness.
Can we just take a second and appreciate how good this adaptation is? This isn't just another monster movie. This is the film Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make his entire life. His passion project, and you feel the passion in every single frame.
Absolutely do. It's a monstrously beautiful melodrama. It's got this incredible depth. It's not just a horror film, it's a haunting reimagining that's more about heartbreak than horror.
I just really hope people who are watching this, maybe because it's Del Toro, or they're just fans of Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi, I hope they take something good away from it. That they see the past gothic imagery and find that moral stage play underneath.
I think they will, because this adaptation does one thing, the most important thing better than almost any other. It properly portrays the creature.
Yes, he's not the villain, he's the victim.
He's a victim of his own innocence and naivety. He's a blank slate, a child, who is just met with fear and violence at every turn, and he learns to be what they see. Society taught him to be a monster, so he becomes one.
And in doing so, the film makes it crystal clear. Victor is the true monster. His rejection, his failure as a father, his abusive ego, that is the original sin. That dooms them all.
It's a beautiful, heartbreaking, and deeply necessary film, and it's exactly the kind of story we love to unpack here on Narrative Mode.
That was a heavy one. I think next week we will need something a little less gothic, maybe a little more hopeful.
I think we've earned it. Next episode, we're trading the lab for the cosmos. We're talking about the biggest movie on the planet right now, Fantastic Four: The First Steps.
Oh, nice. So we're going from a story about a failed father to a story about the ultimate found family.
Exactly. We're going to be unpacking all of it. The real-world lessons on family, building a community, that's the sacrifices that they have to make, and the sheer perseverance it takes to face the unknown.
I'm in. I love it. From the first family of horror to the first family of Marvel.
We hope you'll join us for that. Until then, I'm Henry.
And I'm Henry. Stay curious.